Okay, so just got back from the movie theaters, saw Obsession and also Backrooms back to back. And I made a tweet saying I didn't really like the Backrooms movie. Some people were like, can you expand on that? Can you tell us why? So I'm making this video to explain why I didn't like the Backrooms movie that much. There's going to be some spoilers. You've been warned. If you haven't seen the Backrooms movie, I'm going to be talking about it a little bit here. First off, though, Obsession, fantastic movie, near perfect film, 10 out of 10. Love that movie to death. I got a few nitpicks here and there, but like, if you're a fan of horror, that's the movie to go see. It's so good. I would even say over the Backrooms. Even if you're a Backrooms fan, go see Obsession. It's just that good. Let's talk about the Backrooms, though. I didn't like it. And I want to preface this by saying I didn't go into it expecting it to be like the Roblox games with all the different levels and all the different monsters or anything like that. That's not what I was expecting out of it. I've seen all of the episodes on Kane's YouTube channel. I think I've reacted to all of them. Big fan of the series. I think it's the best interpretation of the Backrooms. Love it. I didn't go into this expecting like a monster cameo fest or anything like that, or oh my God, he's in the pools level or anything like that. Not what I was expecting. I still didn't like the movie though. Here's why I didn't like the movie. I made a few notes. I kind of want to go through them here. Let me pull them up. Give me a second. First off, this movie doesn't have an ending. There's no ending. There is an ending. The movie ends, but like there's no ending. Like whenever you like most movies, they have a beginning, middle, and end, and there's like a clear end to the story, even if it's a cliffhanger, right? Like Empire Strikes Back, it ends on a cliffhanger, but there's still an ending to the story. Infinity War ends on a cliffhanger, but the story told in that movie has an ending. This movie just like ends. Like it's just like, well, that's the end of the movie. Like right as soon as it starts to get interesting, it just ends. The entire movie feels like it's the intro to a way more interesting movie. I'd rather watch the movie that comes right after this movie than the movie I just watched. Because if they're making a sequel that follows up directly after this, great. I want to watch that movie. This one just felt like a really boring intro to the much cooler movie. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's talk about the found footage sections. Some parts in this movie were found footage, like the YouTube series. Those were the best parts. In fact, I wish the whole movie was found footage because those parts rocked. I love those. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Everything in between, though, felt like it was in an entirely different movie. Like the tone was different. The vibe was different. It was just off. It's almost like they had a movie script for a different movie, and then they turned that into a Backrooms movie. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying not to spoil too much here. But let's talk about the characters because it ties into this. I didn't like the characters at all. I thought the characters were honestly pretty boring. And the reason why I said that most of this movie felt like another movie that was just turned into a Backrooms movie, it's because of the subplot with these characters. I just feel like it didn't fit into a Backrooms movie. I understand what the movie was going for with trauma and how it affects you and like your interpretation of the world. I get what it was going for. At least I think I get what it was going for. That's just not what I find appealing with the Backrooms. Like whenever I see Backrooms media, I want to see I don't want to spoil it. I mean, it's in the YouTube series. I want to see like the A-Sync company. What are they doing? What's their plans? What's their nefarious goal here? What's their end game? I want to see the soldiers or the employees, whatever you want to call them, exploring the Backrooms. I want to see them getting mapped out and discovering, this and that. And like we get some of that in this movie, but like there's a point in the movie where like stuff happens and then it just skips forward. And then all of the exploring, all of the, like, it just skips all the cool stuff, I feel like the mapping out part and it just skips it. Like, we start getting there and then it just skips it. And that's it. Like, all the cool stuff that I'm interested in seeing is just skipped. I want to see people exploring it. I want to see people getting lost. I want to see people mapping it out. But all that gets skipped. Every bit of it. Almost. Except for like 10 minutes. It's really annoying. And the characters, there's this subplot with like trauma and all this. Again, I don't want to spoil it. But like I didn't care, dude. I didn't care. I just want to see Backrooms stuff. It felt like the Backrooms was a side character in the Backrooms movie. Like I don't care about the trauma or anything. Like I just want to see the Backrooms. You know what I mean? Can I expand on this without spoiling more of it? I don't think so. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, though. Like half of the final climactic battle, like the final battle in this movie, if you want to call it that, is a therapy session. And it's like, that's not what I want to see in a Backrooms movie. Like, that's not the kind of movie I'm in for here. Next part. There was almost zero connection to the YouTube series. At the very end, it like connects. And you're like, oh, okay. But then the movie just immediately ends like 5 minutes later. And you're like, oh, okay. So like, you don't have to watch the YouTube series going into this. I'd still recommend you to watch it. Because like my fiance didn't watch it. And obviously there's a lot of things she missed out on because she didn't watch it. But it just doesn't connect till the very end. When it connects, but like, I wanted to see more of that stuff because I've seen all the YouTube series and that stuff is really interesting. I want to see where that goes. But that's not really what the movie's about. It's about these side characters that I really don't care about. And honestly, they're kind of annoying. I found the side characters kind of annoying. And again, I don't want to spoil it, but like I just feel like it didn't really, like, it didn't matter. Like, those characters just didn't matter. I'm going to spoil it. All of them except for one die by the end. And it's like, well, I don't really care about him. I didn't care about him anyway. I feel like we spent 2 hours following these characters that I didn't care about. The way more interesting stuff was the async company. You know? Let's talk about the monsters. I found the monsters were really goofy looking. All of them. And to the point where there was some people in the audience that I don't think they realized that they were supposed to be scary. Like there were some people that were laughing whenever the main monster, you know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie, shows up. And it threw the vibes off. Like there were people just laughing. And I'm like, I don't think this is supposed to be funny. I think this is supposed to be scary. But the monster just looks goofy. It looks like the best way I can describe it is when Pennywise turns into like those weird CGI creatures. That's not the clown. That's what it feels like. And it everything leading up to before you see the monsters are scary. But as soon as you see the monsters, they stop being scary and they're like, well, those are actually kind of goofy, actually. I don't know if it was the CGI. I don't know if it was design. The design of them, I don't know. But like, the monsters weren't scary. And like, you could say that the one bacteria camera monster, what's it called? The fellow or whatever his name is. He's not in this movie. That monster is not in this movie. But like, he was somewhat scary looking. The monsters in this movie aren't scary looking. They're goofy looking. And it just threw the vibe off. Again, I get why they were like that. It ties into the story. It's just, I feel like the monsters should be scary. Let's see, what else? I feel like it was a very slow moving film. Like again, all the found footage, I'm kind of probably yapping at this point. All the found footage parts were really good. Everything else was so slow, and so much of the movie revolves around these characters and their trauma And it's like, I really don't care. I just want to see the back rooms. I want to see them exploring the back rooms. I want to, you know what I mean? I'm looping at this point, but like, you get what I'm saying. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It just wasn't for me, man. It just was not for me. I feel like the next movie might be for me because, like, again, this movie ends right when it starts to get interesting. But this movie just felt like the beginning to a way more interesting movie. Yeah. If I had to rate it, let's see, I put Obsession out of 10. 10 out of 10. I would put this at like a. The music was really good. The set design was really good. I'd put this at like a 6. I think Backrooms is like a 6. Maybe a 5. 5.5. Somewhere in there. That's what I would rate it. Wasn't bad. It was just not really what I wanted out of a Backrooms movie. Like I think I was going into it with the expectation of this being like a found footage horror movie, kind of like the YouTube series. That's not what this is. This is like a in-depth trauma character study between two characters that happen to find the Backrooms. Wasn't for me. Wasn't for me.